Hi, welcome to DIY with Gayle in the Ketchikan Public Library. As you can see, it must be getting close to Christmas. I like Christmas. Everything on the table today is upcycled. Paper, newspaper, magazines, books, scrap fabric, dented up styrofoam, and in all of this, it ends up looking awesome. So let's start here with the candle. Okay? So you end up making this little area in the top for your candle. Alright. And I've got one started over here that I haven't finished yet. And I made this one a little bit bigger at the top because I wanted to put the little glass holder in there. Okay. So the first thing you do to make this particular candle is tear off your front and back covers, and then take your candle and up here in the corner, decide how deep you want it, if you want it to come out even with the top of your candle or not, and do about a 50% of your candle here. And I'm going to want mine just a touch deeper this time, I think. So I'm just making a little kind of notch, and it's about, like I said, 50% of my candle here. And I want mine down just a little bit. And then, once you do that, where did I put my little knife? Right there. All right. And it's a matter of cutting, just cut. And you're going to go all the way through. Okay? And it doesn't take very long if your cutter is very sharp. And then just peel away as you go. Remember to have something down on your table to protect it, otherwise you're going to end up with knife marks all over it. Okay. Now, as I said, it doesn't take very long at all to get through. Okay. And I want to do it all the way through so I can show you the end on the one I'm doing there. But to start this, it'll be easier for us to see on this. All right. That's where my candle's going to be. Okay. Now to fold this, take the page, and right up here at that little corner, you're going to fold down and follow that line, okay? That little line that we made for the candle. Fold, and then just fold over the rest of it to the spine. And then open. Again, it's take the page, turn down right here at this point, okay? And we're following where our candle's gonna go down. Makes a little triangle. And then the rest of it, fold in to the center of the book. Okay. Do it again. And I think I mentioned this when we did the witches. Sit in front of the TV and do this. It flies by. Okay. And then you can see how it starts to shape. Okay, and we're going to go through the entire book like that until we reach the end, which I've just pushed that inside. Continuing on to do the exact same thing from that corner down and in, and it gets really tight here. I have used these little doodads to help hold it open, and even rubber bands, so whatever you need to help you push it open, It's okay. And it goes pretty quickly. And then you need to decide what you want to put on your beautiful little candle. My theme this year is kind of books, printed. Everything's going to be printed. My snowflakes are made out of newspaper. And we'll be showing you that here in just a few minutes. Let me push that back in there. And when it gets to this point, it's tight. It is nice and tight. And what I love about this one, I don't know if you can see it across here, but the chapters were done in great big numbers. And so you can, they make kind of a cool line. I like it. And then just decide what you want to do with it. I'm going to put a little lace around the bottom of mine. You don't have to glue it if you don't want to. You can just tuck it into the pages and it holds very well. I glued the other, but I'm not going to glue this one. I just want to give you a good idea on how to do it. So you can do it. I've got a couple more that I'm making so that I can have several of them together at the table. I thought they would be kind of neat to have a couple of different ones at the table at the same time. So there's the candles. Okay, quick and simple. And then we were talking about magazines and doing the trees, or maybe it was turkeys, I don't know. When we were kids, we made these types of things out of the magazines. But when I was playing with the magazines the other day, I could not get it full enough until I discovered this way of doing it. So let me show you that with the magazine. Again, you start by pulling your front and back covers off. And on this one, it's kind of hard to start because it doesn't want to stay. So let me get these turned back under here so I can show you. All right, so on this one, we're going to turn all the way down and we're going to crease this one, okay? Then we're going to turn it again, but this time don't crease the edge, okay? Make sure it pushes down into the spine area here, but don't crease that. Go ahead and fold up what's left to make it even with the bottom, and then just turn. And it'll go about, I think 6 or 8 pages in, it starts holding it itself because it tries to pop out. So down, down again, leaving this one unpressed. Make it straight across the bottom, keeping it tucked in there. Turn the page, and here we go again. One more time. Crease that one, roll this one, make this one go up, and then turn the page. And look at that. It's nice and full, and this little tiny magazine will make a full tree. Okay? So that's how to do that one. Now, I got a little carried away, I will say. I ended up taking one of the novels and cutting it into 3 pieces and making this little item to hang on the tree. Let me reach over here. Excuse me there. And I've done one with the puff and one flattened. Can you see the difference there? I didn't put a string on this one yet. But this one is nice and puffy. You don't have to use near as many pages. My hands were getting sore after a while. And then this one is just done nice and tight and folded down. So here, let me show you that. I've started this one nice and tight. So all it is cut your novel into three pieces and then just start folding the pieces. Just fold it in, and if you're going to do the nice and tight one, that's all there is to it right there. Fold and go. For the puffy one, just don't make that crease. As I said on the magazine doing the tree, it takes several of them to get it going before it'll hold it in there, so you might have to go back and push it back in a couple of times. And don't worry about it being a little bit off. When you stand them up later, you can tap them, and then they'll all be nice and straight across the top. See, can you see in the top here? I don't know if it's too dark with my hand there. So here's the ones we folded with the crease, and here's the ones we did without the crease. And I think they both will look lovely. All of this stuff is going to be in here in my craft room, hanging from the windows. Okay, so there's those. Very, very simple. And then I did this little gal here, and she's made just like the Christmas tree. Okay, the Christmas tree is a fold down, and fold up. Okay, just like the magazine was, but we're going to make all of those sharp. Okay, and so you just keep going like this until you have it all filled in. Okay, and you end up with this. I used a small decoration for her head. I used a fan for her wing. So I took the page and just fanned it, and then I folded it in half and gave it a little glue down there. And then I stuck some glue on the edge here, actually a lot of glue, and stuffed it in here in her little necky area. So there's her wings. I'm going to put a little piece of garland around her head as soon as I figure out what I did with the garland. But there's my little angel. Okay, I just added ribbon along the edge, and all with tacky glue. I did not use any hot glue on any of this stuff. I just used tacky. It seemed to do just fine, was pretty quick. It didn't really take a lot of time. Now on these, if you wanted to put glitter, gold glitter and stuff on them, you can go for it. They will look awesome with glitter and stuff on them. But as I said, I am kind of into the printed page for Christmas this year. That's going to be my theme. I want to show you the snowflakes. Now what I did is, with the snowflakes, is I went ahead and used newspapers, but my favorite thing to use is parchment paper. If you can get a piece of, or a roll of parchment paper that doesn't have the writing on it, and I'm sorry, I don't know which one it is, I did not get it this time, mine has writing all over it. But the parchment is gorgeous in great big huge windows. If you make giant snowflakes, oh my gosh, they're amazing. When it's raining outside and you're looking through them, it's just a filter, like a filter, and you can see it. And then when it gets dark, the whole thing just stands out in the dark. It's just gorgeous. All right, to do a snowflake, now it took me forever to learn this. I don't know why, but it did. So you need a square. Doesn't matter what size that square, just make sure you have a square, okay? Fold it, and you're gonna fold it up like this. Okay, don't make this one too firm right here, because I always find that I didn't get it quite right. And so when I pull this one up, my edge should meet that, and this edge should meet here. And as you can see, I'm slightly off, okay? So we want them to be on the money, so to speak. Otherwise, your little cutouts will be kind of weird. Okay, so once you fold those, then you fold it like this one more time. And then you can cut these long things off because you're not going to put anything up there. And then just start cutting. There are templates that you can probably print off and use. I like making my own. I never know what they're going to look like. And that's part of the fun. And I'll show you that one more time on the folding so that you get it. I won't cut, but I will show you the fold again. Okay, let's see what happens. You just never know what you're going to come out with. Oh yeah, I'll take it. Easy snowflakes. Like I said, make them out of a newspaper or your parchment paper. It looks absolutely gorgeous on parchment paper. And then our next item are these wonderful little scrap fabric ornaments. I thought they were awesome. They reminded me of a craft also from school, using a pencil. You will need a dull pencil, okay, because you do not want to put the pencil through the fabric. And then you will need some pieces of fabric, just cut up into small little pieces. Make sure that whatever size you're using on your particular ornament, they're about the same size. I don't know what size these are. They were just something I cut. And all you do, face up and poke. And just go all over it. Very simple. No glue. Just a simple little poke. And if you accidentally poke it in there wrong side, don't worry about it. Pull it right back out and do it again. It's even kind of satisfying to hear it go crunch, crunch, you know? And all you have to do is fill it up, take your little piece of cording that you're going to use to hang it. If you're going to hang it, I'm going to hang mine. I think they'd look very cute in bowls also. Take your 2-string or your 1-string, put the 2 ends together, and just do the same thing you did with the material. Poke it in there. And then just finish getting it all covered. Oops, I'm going to say that this one needed to go in better. They do stay. I'm trying to cover so many. I'm just in a hurry, and I'll try and slow down a little bit. There we go. Now, this one is all SpongeBob. Everything in here is SpongeBob. And I think that it looks so cute. So this one was done with just one fabric. This one was done with anything that I found on my sewing room floor. Can you see these in a bowl too on the coffee table? I know a lot of people do the fiber balls. All right, so that's the scraps in the styrofoam. And my last one that I want to show you is this one. It can also be done in paper. This happens to be a Christmas paper. This is fabric. And all it is you take these squares. Okay, these happen to be 1.5 by 1.5. All right, and you can make them as big as you want as long as they fit on your egg. This is an egg underneath, and how you start it is you take one of your pieces of fabric, put it on top. Now, this is being done with these little pins. I did try it with the glue, and it does not work. or doesn't work for me, because you have to move your little things to get them in the right place, and gluing them down does not work. And you're going to use a lot of these little pins. These are sequin pins. Okay. So I've just put them in the corners there, okay, to cover that little nub. Then you're going to take your piece of fabric, the squares, and you're going to fold them in half, making the triangle, and then in half again, making the triangle. You'll want to iron all of those down so they're nice and flat, okay? So it doesn't pop up. These I've ironed, and I'm going to show you how to start this. So right at the top, where your egg is the roundest part, put your little point to touch that rounded top. And we're going to put a pin in each of these two bottom edges. Okay, I'm having a hard time holding on to it. All right, so there's one. I'm going to go directly across from that one, pushing the points down so they're touching each other. And then I'm going to roll over here to get that bottom edge. Okay. And again, we're going to have 4 of them. Okay, and then we're going to make lines down from there, meeting again at the top here. Okay, and coming down here. This has probably been my favorite one. I just learned how to do this one, and it's been fun. I like the look of it, especially with this color. All right, last one, the 4th one. Look, when it's all together up there, see how it's closed? All right. And then those bottom 2 pins again. By the time you finish this, you will have so many pins in here. So if you have animals or small children or something, this probably isn't a good craft for around the house there. All right, so then my next row is just going to go right here. Can you see it? I'm going to move it because of the color of the fabric there. Okay, so that's lined up, and then I'm going to go right here and put pins in again. And you will have 4 around the top here, and I think, how many rows down? Looks like 3 rows down before we start that next, because we'll have to widen it out because our little styrofoam ball gets a little wider around the middle, so we'll have more than 4 around there on our next round. And I'll show you how to start that and see how it's going. I think it's looking awesome. Now I tried to put as many decorations. I went a little low. Look, you guys, see, I went a little low. You can't do that, and that's why I said it doesn't work with glue, because you end up doing this a few times. Pull it out, look at it, and say, nope, I need it a little bit different. Okay. So I was saying I did a lot of decorations today because this is the only day I'm going to do the decorations. I want to make sure that we have enough time for gifts. So our next one will be all on gifts. All right, so when you get to this point, we know that we are going to need an extra one here And so it's going to come up, and we want its point to be with these points, okay? Right there. And if you look, you actually end up with somewhat of a straight line as you go. So you, not exactly straight, but I mean, as straight as Gayle goes there. You know, I mean, let me show you on this one. See how it is? And if you can just keep it to where they're matching up, you're going to be okay. Once you've added that extra one, there will be, let's see, one here, two, there will be three. Okay, so you'll put it between here and here. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Okay, and then just keep going and keep going till you get to the bottom. And then when you decide what you would like to put on top, I'm actually thinking about not putting anything on top of mine. I'm thinking about these going into the little basket. I just think they'll look cute, and I have a couple other colors that I will do it with too. All right, you guys, I think that covers my upcycling stuff. I hope there's something here that you'll enjoy doing with your family. I'll see you here next week, and we'll start on gifts. Have a wonderful week, and mask on.